हेलो विजय भाई, कैसे चल रहा है? खाना वाना खा लिया?
सब पे जस्ट ब्रो रात के 2 बज रहे का कैसे खाना नहीं खाया रोल द इंट्रो. Hello, Unengineers. Welcome to the 18th episode of Unengineered Podcast. We're going to talk about Indian companies today and how they are the biggest scam in the world.
भाई आराम से भाई, इतना बोल्ड स्टेटमेंट मत बना.
Dude, I'm just joking.
There are bigger scams, but our world is very small, guys. This is the biggest scam that we can uncover. Also, we're going to talk about Micromax and WhiteHatJr's today. And they are not They're not exactly scams, but
they're not. Wait.
They're doing some shady stuff.
What they are. Come on.
Yeah. If you heard of Micromax or WhiteHatJr in the last 1 month, you know that some things are wrong with both these companies, and we're gonna इसके बारे में बात करेंगे.
Okay, let's start with Micromax. So, पहले तो, great job with the speech, Rahul Sharma, whatever your name is.
Nobody asked who you are. Nobody asked what. Like, nobody cares about your company.
He's the co-founder.
Essentially, I know he's the co-founder, but that was my point. Nobody cares about you or your company. Why are you coming out and talking to us like this? I don't see.
I mean, it's fine. Like, वो target audience के लिए it's fine. Just give us our specs and then talk to them. Maybe.
Fair enough. But yeah, the thing. Yeah. Okay. So, to give the viewers some context, Micromax is releasing a new. It's making a comeback. Taking Micromax, the Indian company. If you don't know Micromax, so what? What the heck?
What?
How do you not know?
Are you even Indian?
I swear, are you international? You wanna go to another country whose name I can't take right now? Yeah, you wanna go? Let's go. If you don't know Micromax, you are international. So
it rhymes with Hindustan.
Okay, fine. But
okay.
Micromax was a budget Indian company, which जो घाटे में चली.
Their budget got out of control and they went bankrupt.
Yeah, approximately.
But luckily they're coming back.
Yeah, I think 2016 they went back in 2016-17. And they're making a comeback with a new line of phones which are called appropriately. Yeah, Micromax In series of smartphones. And they
went from Max to U to In.
Max?
Remember Micromax का Max series था कुछ तो I don't remember.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was there.
And then
Max series.
U and then In.
Eureka, yeah. Why you? Yeah. My God. Weird.
So Atik and I talked about this Thodu before the podcast, and we both had a point. We are happy that Indian companies are making smartphones again. It's just that we know Micromax.
The thing is, so Micromax, my first smartphone was a Micromax, right? Back in 2015, 2016. And the only reason I used it, the only reason I tolerated it was because the software was very clean, okay? मतलब Android काफी clean था. And to
Micromax
as far as I remember it, like it was pretty clean. There were no ads, and it was not stock Android. They had a skin on top of it. But the skin was also pretty clean. It wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the smoothest.
But then bloatware था वो apps, वो phones.
Bloatware, there was a certain amount of bloatware, but I don't remember ever being inconvenienced by it. It was kind of stuttery, to be honest. Like, it was not a fun experience operating that phone. But just because the performance was really, really good, I had that phone. The battery life was good. The cameras were crap. The material build quality was very cheap, very crap. Everything else was bad about the phone, but the performance, and that was a quad-core processor, not even octa-core.
The price to performance was really good.
Yeah, the price to performance was insane, like 13.5K.
That's why Micromax became, I think, one of the top companies in India and one of the 10th largest company in the entire world.
In the world,
That's a big thing actually.
In a very small amount of time, buddies. पूरे दुनिया में तुम top 10 smartphone sellers, कोई budget category में, भाई. That's
But that time they didn't have competition, right? That's the thing.
Absolutely, they had competition, but it was not from what they claim were Chinese smartphones.
Micromax actually rebranded Chinese smartphones.
Yeah, Micromax. Most of their phones were just like they brought these hardware from China and they put their logo on it. That's it. Most of these phones were there.
Exactly.
That's
And
why
we
they were
covered
so
this in
cheap.
some episode pehle. And they were so cheap.
Yes, exactly.
And
Micromax,
you can win the competition if no one even knows about it. Like Rajasthan Royals first IPL jeet gaya tha. No one knew about it tabhi, I guess. But that's the point. Ki it was downfall for them because Chinese smartphones entered the game. And it's not just that Chinese smartphones destroyed Micromax. It's lack of support, bad customer service, buggy software, and just bad phones in general. Plastic phones which broke easily.
Absolutely,
and the price I think increased bhi uske baad thodu. Like after the Chinese smartphones came. Like Chinese smartphones were cheaper, I guess.
Yes. Also the thing is when competition arrives, it's a good thing for you and your company. It gives you the opportunity and it puts you under pressure to make better smartphones to give competition to these competitors, right? Just because कोई नया मार्केट में आएगा doesn't mean आप सीधा लॉस पे लॉस ले लो यार. तुम थोड़ा इनोवेट करो, तुम थोड़ा कंपटीशन
हाँ exactly कि B-bomb का I watched a video and they had a good point there saying कि no one can drive a great product out of a market.
Absolutely. भाई तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट से अगर
the product has to be shit to be हाँ
Advait just put it bluntly कि Micromax shit है. But yes, that was true. Micromax was not a good product. Like it was a very subpar product. The only thing good about them was because that's essentially what India is, right? If you capture the majority, Micromax captured the majority. They sold cheap phones to many, like millions, hundreds of millions of people, and they became the top 10. ये है इंडिया का पावर, ठीक है? That is the market that India is. You sell things for cheap, see the shoot up. Just because we have the numbers advantage, we will like bring in profits like crazy. So when Micromax got competition, people realized people had like a standard to compare it to. Samjha? And they were like, oh my god, as compared to these Chinese phones, these Micromax phones are so bad that we should not buy.
Like reviewers didn't even review Micromax phones after a point. Like
yes, they completely stopped.
They just stopped reviewing.
Obviously,
like, there was no point.
It was pointless.
And the new smartphones that are coming, they don't have the best specs in the world. They have a MediaTek Helio G85 optical processor, which runs at 2.3 gigahertz, and the Geekbench score though, its single core is 903 and multi-core is 4026, which is unusually high.
Which is actually very
but
high.
We don't know.
I don't. But the thing is, with 4 gigs of RAM, तो कितना multi-threading कर लेगा?
Like 4 gigs of RAM, 1A वाले version में, which is I think the better version.
Oh my god! So on the upper end, they have 4 gigs. So yeah, that's okay. I mean, and they say it's gonna be bloatware free. It's not gonna have ads, and it's gonna be near stock, which is really nice. That's good. Like, because good job there. I really remember the first time I ever used stock Android was when I bought a Motorola phone. That was the first time I ever used.
Motorola phones did very well.
Yes. And I remember that one Micromax had a skin, and it was not the best, but it was not the worst also. Like it could have been worse. It could have been worse, but it was still very clean, and there was not a lot of visual elements which are overburdening you or overwhelming you. It was just a simple, clean skin that they had on top of it. I just wish it was better optimized for performance and it was smoother, all that stuff.
I think skin ka problem is that was just bad processors, lower end processors. Also, they had a 45-minute keynote. Just the only thing reviewers as in tech channels got was that it's gonna run almost stock Android. It's not gonna have ad. I don't know what they talked about back time.
What the heck?
But how?
You didn't see the
45 minutes. I
did not even know they had a keynote. I need to check it out.
मेरे को भी नहीं पता था. They had these boxes sent to all the review channels वगैरह.
Oh yeah.
जिसमें there was nothing about the phone.
Yeah.
It was just पहले तो ऊपर लिखा था आओ करे चीनी कम, which even I think is a racist. Yeah. And it had a chai ka cup.
Oh my god.
And just they had the same thing written.
Bhai, kya hai? My god, this is just blatant racism. The thing is, this is what happens when you
not
bank
that
on.
ऐसा ऊपर के ऊपर के level वाला racism नहीं है. It's just that you're distributing millions of boxes.
Bro, yes, it is ऊपर level का racism, to be honest. It is.
I mean,
it's just
जैसे
it's
इंडिया
that
में चलता है, it's just ऐसा
I can't
बोलने
help
के लिए वो.
I can't help but draw a parallel between 4G, the Indian game that's releasing, and Micromax. Both of these products are extremely subpar, way below competition. And the only thing that they both have to offer is that they are giving competition to Chinese products. Because that's
Exactly.
all the
My next
marketing
point exactly वही था कि we are moving in the wrong direction. We should focus on making great products, but what you're focusing on is defeating Chinese smartphones in this case.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a great direction because once you do it, once you defeat them, आगे क्या? It's
you
gonna
have to
be
actually, yeah, people are just gonna buy a Samsung phone because Samsung is a better. OnePlus is, oh my god,
But
OnePlus
OnePlus is again Chinese, right?
Yes, but OnePlus has a very loyal customer base in India, and that is just increasing because they are targeting lower price segments, and they have exceptional build quality, exceptional software, great support, Android updates आते रहते हैं. उनका जो community है वो बहुत सही है, उनका marketing top of the line है. You cannot compete with OnePlus if they ever. I
haven't seen logo people line up outside of stores सिवाय और कोई brand के Apple और Samsung के. Apple और OnePlus ही है.
Apple और
like I haven't
OnePlus,
seen
yes.
Samsung phones के लिए lines बनते हुए कहीं lines बनते हुए नहीं
Same.
Apple and OnePlus.
Apple because it's a very exclusive kind of thing, and they sell out usually, and the hype is a lot around these Apple phones. And OnePlus because there's just a lot of people who want to buy them. I mean, there are a lot of people who want to buy iPhones also, but not everybody can afford it immediately, right?
नहीं, that's the case. India में I don't think India में line बनता है iPhone के लिए.
India में नहीं line बनता.
Foreign markets में.
But I've seen lines.
Although India में मैंने OnePlus के लिए line I remember OnePlus 70 या कुछ तो आ रहा था. 70 या 7 Pro. I don't remember exactly. Which is the one with the curved screen. एकदम ज़्यादा.
7 Pro. 7 Pro.
I remember I was coming from a class. So I was going to a class actually. Subeh college type thing.
Oh my god.
And मैं और मेरे 2 friends थे, and people were just lining up. Seawoods Grand Central का जगह है उधर. There is this store नीचे. It's a really nice store. पूरा class से बना है. It's really good looking. And people are lining outside, and everyone's wondering, एक मिनट free में मिल रहा है क्या इधर? कितना लोग line बना है.
Yeah.
We were in that photo. I remember they clicked photos on Instagram पे डालने के लिए. So we made it to the photo. We didn't buy the phone, but we were in the line.
Lol, that's funny. Yeah, also, is that the showroom which is like attached to the railway station, like underground?
हाँ.
Yeah, I bought my phone वहीं से. That's a pretty cool store.
क्या बात कर रहा है?
Yeah.
हाँ, it's a really good looking.
It's a really good store. Like I walked in, I walked out in like 5 minutes. So, good job, OnePlus.
You didn't visit the mall ऊपर का?
No, I came just to buy the phone. I came just to buy.
तू Viviana गया है?
Yeah, I've been to Viviana.
हाँ, that mall is Viviana on steroids.
I've seen SGC, buddy. Like, I know.
अच्छा, okay.
OnePlus has a very loyal fan following. In India, in Indonesia, Singapore, these Asian countries, they line up for OnePlus phones because they're cheap and they offer a great experience. So, if OnePlus ventures into the sub 20,000 market, which they most probably are with their new OnePlus Nord, Micromax is gonna
exactly. Micromax, the biggest competition, is a company which has loyalty.
Is any Micromax at this point
great products?
The thing is
that combination is so lethal. Like even if OnePlus has a bad year, even if OnePlus has 2 bad years, they can still have billions of phones sold because they have that story built around them.
Absolutely. Like OnePlus के पुराने models भी बिकते हैं यार काफी ज़्यादा. Like if I go and sell, like my current phone it's like a generation older. The 80 has launched, but if I sell my current phone, it still has a considerable resale value, despite the fact that it's an Android phone. Android phones do not have resale values.
They degraded. Samsung के phones launch होने के 2-3 महीने बाद क्या गिरते हैं?
My God. Samsung के phones बहुत ज़्यादा गिरते हैं value में. मैं वो बोल रहा हूँ Android phones का resale value is very, I don't know why, but
Android phones ka in general resale value is bad.
Very
That's
bad.
why I say na OnePlus is the closest Android company that is like Apple.
It's the Apple for Android
Huh.
users. And yeah, that
Kind
makes
of.
complete.
It doesn't make sense, but come on, you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's so my point is, at this point, the thing. Okay, so this is one perspective that we are putting. Ki, Micromax ka competitor is anybody who has a better product, because Micromax do not have a good record for having good products. They only have a record for having cheap products, which are not good. So the other side of this argument is that Micromax is not targeting people like us. They are not targeting youngsters. That's what I told Advait. The video in which the CEO talks to us and tells us ki
I
hum
don't know if it's the CEO. I think
it
it's
is the co-founder, Joby.
Joby.
He's
Sorry.
annoying with his cliche ass name. Yeah, the most cliche name he has. Literally the most cliche name. जो बोलना भी नहीं मुझे छोड़ो यार. So in this other video that they released on their YouTube channel a week ago, their co-founder comes and says ki, oh, myself village area, I come to city, I found Micromax, we become top 10. The other side of the perspective is that the speech जो फाउंडर ने आके दिया वीडियो में, where he told us कि हम चाइना पे वार करेंगे, चाइनीज फोन्स बैड, चाइनीज फोन्स की वजह से हम लोग घाटे में गया, blah blah blah. These are all statements which cater to a completely different market in the Indian economy, and this market is the age of 30 plus, 35 plus, who are very motivated by, and let's not be ageist here, people under those ages can also be motivated by patriotism, but they are targeting that kind of people who are extremely nationalist. Like, I'm not saying it in a negative connotation, very positively, like they want to support the Indian economy and stuff like that. They want to go with the Atmanirbhar Bharat.
The point he's trying to make is the motivation for buying something Indian outweighs the motivation for buying something that
Good.
is better than the one.
Yes, and that's a very smart move by Micromax. If I'm not gonna lie, it's a smart move, because a majority of people think that way. There is an anti-China sentiment that's going on in India, and as much as techies and geek nerds like us like curse them out for like being a
using
CC.
that to sell smartphones instead of just making good specs.
Yes,
they're gonna sell
exactly.
smartphones anyway.
They're gonna sell a lot of smartphones.
They have done the math कि वो काम करने वाला है.
Yeah, they know this stuff. They know. Why do you think 4G is releasing? Why do you think Micromax is coming back? It's all coming together, guys. sorry to be dialogue marketing, sorry, but it's true. Like, they are gonna sell a lot of smartphones based on just the fact that they are the only Indian company in the sub 20,000 market, which is true. They are the only company. Samsung and OnePlus, hopefully, there are no other companies which cater to like the sub 20,000 market. Like, there's no other. Literally, there's no other. And I really wanted an Indian company to come back, but it was just not Micromax. I wanted somebody new to come and revolutionize it, because I mean, Micromax
exactly. Like, we have covered this. There are great Indian companies with great stories and great backgrounds and stuff.
Absolutely.
I hope for a better start, but okay, we'll work with what's given.
Yeah, man. We have no choice.
What option do we have?
So yeah, Micromax, it's coming back. It's targeting anti-China sentiment. It's gonna sell a lot of smartphones. That's the truth. हम कितना भी गाली दे दे कि यार better products बनाओ, they're not gonna make better products because they're gonna sell what they already are making. They're gonna make I mean that मतलब profit भी इतना ज़्यादा तुम नहीं कमा सकते 15 या 20,000 के phones पे, but it's a good start. It's a great start.
Like, so, all the best to Micromax. We hope you do better, but
yeah, man. Hopefully once they get in better funds, they're gonna do some more R&D and hopefully like change their stance. Sell like it's okay. You can use any marketing tactics, any marketing strategy to sell your phones, but in the long run, it's not sustainable. Even Micromax knows that. So I hope they're prepared for the future.
You guys know it more than anyone.
Good one. That's a great. बहुत सही point है इसके. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, that's about it.
That's pretty
I
much
don't
it.
want to give you guys more advertisement. So
Yeah.
let's give some other shitty companies advertisement. Coming to WhiteHatJr.
Good one.
Okay, I want to put a disclaimer. Anything I say ahead of this, I am biased towards my community of coders and the people who are getting into coding. So I'm gonna be extremely harsh at WhiteHatJr. Just because you're targeting my people.
Fair enough.
Everything I say is gonna be super duper biased.
Also, I'm kind of the middle guy because I'm not into coding, but I really respect people who code because it's an art. I believe coding is an art because
हाँ but बहुत मेहनत लगता है. Come on.
हाँ मेहनत तो definitely लगता है, but मेहनत तो बहुत बहुत चीजों में लगता है. And the thing is, people look at coding as if it's something extremely technical or it's like a hard skill. I mean, definitely coding is a hard skill, but it requires a certain amount of creativity to be good at coding, to be paid in lakhs to just code, right? Because coding is a hard skill. So when you incorporate something new into it that nobody else can replicate, that's when you get actual value as a coder. So I believe coding is an art. Advait, you can continue.
Okay, क्या अच्छे से डाला वो. I am so impressed and proud of you. हाँ, इतना अच्छा statement.
You're welcome.
Damn, it's hard to sit on a company after that, but okay. The thing is, coding, when you know how to do it, it seems super easy. Like, if I try to learn something new, it's easy because there is a barrier of entry when you start coding. And that barrier of entry is hard to go above, or whatever the correct term is, but people get intimidated by it thinking it's really hard. And what these edtech startups, like mostly WhiteHatJr, and I don't want to take दूसरों का नाम because whatever, but what they do is they capitalize on that fear. The thing is, there are a lot of these.
You haven't even heard of them.
Market hai.
Yes, there are a lot of them. I remember reading up about another company which recently is getting into the edtech coding thing, but I don't remember the name. Please continue.
So coming back to the point, coding is one of those topics which has a lot of teachers who are passionate about what they do. Like, there are a lot of teachers, you'll find a lot of them who know coding and who are really passionate about spreading that knowledge, because coding started that way. Coding was done by people who sat in basements, they didn't go out. So the internet and everything has a lot of knowledge that you can take for free. That's the thing, for free. And there are truly passionate teachers who teach coding on YouTube, on Khan Academy, etc., who don't want to get paid, they just want to spread knowledge. And anyone can learn the basics of code, any coding language, or even the fundamentals of coding for free. Absolutely. I learned it that way. 100%. And that's the way to go, I think. Before, complexity seekhna, I get it, you have to pay Coursera and stuff, which is 100% worth it. But to get started, it's not worth paying 5,000, 6,000, 33,000, 1 lakh. Ye unka packages hai. That's insane. Click on your standard, and har isme 3 packages. You imagine paying 8,000 for 6,000 for 8 classes. My God, really? That's the rate at WhiteHatJr's? Yeah, that's the rate at 8 classes. Then there is 30,000 for some classes, and then there is 1 lakh for 140 for classes. Bro, that's insane. That is absolutely exactly. And their website has this testimonials he bolta hai, I think unko, right? Oh God. This 9 years, and they're capitalizing on little kids and new parents. I assume their target audiences. New parents. There are parents who are insecure ki itna competition mein, how is the kid gonna survive, and they're capitalizing on that fear, and it sucks. It sucks. Like, there's nothing worse than that. That's the major complaint that most people have with these companies, is that they are telling these companies to take their capitalism out of the play school. Exactly. Leave the kids alone, man. I mean, yeah, man. If you do it with a 20-year-old kid, I understand. 20-year-old kid, they can figure out what's right, what's wrong. These kids, and these parents are insecure too. It is, I believe, the market is the parents, it's not the kids.
Here, we have no choice but to blame the parents because the kid doesn't know better. The kid will not go out and look for Whitehead Junior ka. I mean, they can. Definitely, there's a lot of kids out there who will get interested in it, and I really encourage it. But I wouldn't encourage parents to like. There'll be just another whole wave of humans, very young humans, who are being forced into something that the society requires them to be. I was pushed into that at the age of say 9th standard, 10th standard. मैं 14 साल का था, 15 साल का था, ठीक है, चले. But like when they are in 10th standard, you're putting them under societal pressure to go and do coding for like lakhs of rupees. That makes absolutely no sense, man. Like, come on, what the heck, man?
And whatever these guys are teaching, it's super duper basic. It's like one
Really?
book ka knowledge. Yeah. Are bhai kya
Exactly. You can't teach complex stuff to elementary school kids because वो लोग को maths पहले सीखना पड़ता है, logic थोड़ा develop करना पड़ता है. And वो कैसे होगा? हाँ.
School जाके.
हाँ, school जाके. Playground में खेल के बाहर explore करके.
They start capturing you at first standard, okay? First standard. First is sequence and fundamental coding, blocks and loops.
Bro,
okay, पहली बात तो now that I read it, don't teach this to a first standard kid.
Bro, first standard में addition सीख रहे हम. Regular, binary नहीं.
Okay, they don't even know division. First standard में. Like I found it out the hard way कि first standard kids को division नहीं आता. When my little brother was in first standard. तो yeah.
My God.
I think you have to teach a first grader. If he likes doing it, it's fine. He'll find other ways to teach him that. It's just that it's not worth paying all this money.
It's insane.
You can just go to
go to Khan Academy. वहाँ से पढ़ा लो यार तुम. सीधा पैसा
Khan Academy is free.
It's completely free. You mentioned the podcast, right? How I built this. He was on that podcast recently. So.
Oh. I have to listen. I have to stop listening to podcasts after that. God
same. मेरे time नहीं मिला. But I listened to like 10 minutes of it. It's very cool. Like, my God, that he has a very cool story. So yeah, you should go check it out. How I built this with Kairaz, featuring Sal Khan. He tells you how he built Khan Academy for free completely. And yeah.
That's so nice. And okay, I don't know if everything comes under EdTech, but companies like Udemy is still in that gray area, but Coursera, Masterclass, this Khan Academy, Code.org, all these companies are trying to push yeah, there are good startups about teaching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then बाकी की ये दूसरे side पे just kind of scam you. See, you can't
say scam.
Call them scams. They are providing stuff. It's just that come on, bro. And the problem is, you can, as an insider who knows stuff about all this, it's easy to see through their bullshit, marketing bullshit.
Yes.
But as an outsider who doesn't know क्या चल रहा है, it's hard for them to see. And I feel bad for them because, again, these companies have done their math. They know their audience and they're going to get money.
That's the truth. I mean, they just got acquired by Byju's for like $400 million, $300 million. Insane.
See, Byju's ka the thing is, I have watched a few tutorials Byju's ka, and the way they teach it, कि एकदम basics में जाके those good animations के साथ पढ़ाते, it seems worth it at that point. कि
I know.
This is how they judge this. कि a tutorial or something is good if it teaches you something you couldn't learn elsewhere.
Yeah.
And at the time जब Byju's आया, schools में Pythagoras theorem was क्या होता है? A square plus B square plus C square. But they, at the one video I saw, they showed कि क्यों है ऐसा.
Yes.
And that is what made them good. I hope
that was
acquire करके WhiteHatJr's becomes something better. Like they'll have to completely change their marketing stance and stuff.
No. I have bad news for you. WhiteHatJr's became like this because they got acquired by this. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I didn't know this.
It's been a long while.
I thought they got acquired after the memes.
No. WhiteHatJr's has been there for a long time. After it got acquired, all this marketing as capitalization has started. Where do you think they got the money for these advertisements, bro? Where do you think?
I
Byju's.
have no clue.
Byju's, like, is the biggest one in the world or something. Like, one of the biggest edtech startups in the world at this point. And that's great. I really like it. Like, at the beginning, when I saw Byju's, my first interaction with Byju's actually, like, they conducted this
Times of India
test.
ने conduct किया था. Oh, same.
I
मेरा
didn't-
मेरा भी वही था.
Were you at the NSCS stadium?
Oh,
Oh, shit.
they had Samsung tablets and we had to give a test. Oh,
Yes.
oh, you were there too.
My God, what a
It
coincidence.
was the biggest marketing stunt I've seen.
I swear. Like, I literally
Imagine
sat there
distributing
for...
Samsung tablets
My
पूरा
God.
stadium में.
I swear. That was insane.
They took them back, but still, the fact that they had them.
The kind of money that the event would have taken to organize. What, 5 years back? 6 years back? I don't remember.
Although Samsung was one of their investor या sponsor is
Yes. That's fair enough.
But still, to get Samsung to invest or sponsor you is pretty.
This is the thing. When you do good marketing, you don't have to go to people's houses. They come to you to get advertised for an entire hour.
It was so clever. What
Yeah.
happened? Okay, मैं पूरा story बताता हूँ.
हाँ,
पे
बता.
मेरे इसमें happened. So school में they conducted a test. ठीक है? They asked किसको आना है. They didn't go कि तुम आओ smartest होगा. They said कि there was only a test and they distributed a pamphlet जिसमें ये था कि prices are Samsung Galaxy Tab S3
Yes.
जो भी था.
Yes.
A lot of people gave the test and somehow a lot of people passed. We're like, oh damn, you're smart. Then you got called to a stadium, specifically invitation ke saath. You get an invitation, you get called to a stadium. And the people sit there, they conduct a test there. And you think you can win because there are a lot of tablets being distributed. Okay? There are a lot of tablets in the stadium. The probability is pretty high. And then you realize, 1 minute, वो सारे tablets all over India ये होने वाले थे. If there are 200 tablets, अगर बस वो stadium में distribute हो रहे हैं, chance is high, but पूरे India में distribute हो रहे हैं, तो chance is very, very low.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the thing. And then ये starts. And they don't introduce you कि या अभी हम Byju's का advertising करेंगे. Byju's का नाम सुनाई नहीं देगा तुम लोग को अब तक. ये पूरा stadium में second test देने के बाद you won't listen to Byju's का नाम.
It will be on the posters. It was on everything, but like they didn't mention it at all until after they conducted the test on the tablets and they took the tablets back. Did they actually start like advertising it?
And then they introduced this guy and they said कि इसने ये test दिया था, he cracked it, he didn't give the next test, he cracked it again, he didn't give the next test, and उसका बहुत सारा तारीफ किया, ठीक है? And then this guy came up on stage, he showed a couple of his videos, and then the marketing started कि we have this app जहाँ पे ऐसा बहुत सारे videos होने वाले हैं. And people are invested, okay? वो 1 घंटा उधर बैठे, they might as well take something from it.
हाँ, वो लोग इतना
And
दूर से
बाहर
आके
जाके so many people bought it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'm pretty sure they at least broke even. Not actually broke even, but they got a lot of customers. If not on that day, after that day, I'm pretty sure they did.
I mean, I don't usually have oh my god, what a company ka marketing move, but that one.
That was insane. That was pretty insane. Like it was conducted on a national level. That's the first time I heard of Byju's.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was smart, but then I realized they just wanted a lot of people to attend the marketing event.
That's the thing, na, ki, you know your marketing is good when the customer doesn't understand that he's being advertised to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't.
And nobody likes being advertised to.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that we like मैं बहुत दूर रहता हूँ यार नेहरू स्टेडियम से, ठीक है, जहाँ वो एक्चुअल था. I went all the way there.
It was a really long drive मेरे लिए भी.
Yeah, absolutely. तेरे लिए तो और ज़्यादा, मतलब oh my god. So yeah, I traveled an hour or something like that to get advertised for 1 hour. That's how good their marketing was. My god, too good these guys. So yes, Byju's has been here for a long time. They've been at the beginning. The appeal was very, very high. Like even I was amazed. Oh my god, I want to do this. मेरे को चाहिए tablet. मेरे को चाहिए 3D illustration में full Pythagoras theorem बाजी. but
Uh-huh.
now it's not that anymore. There's no appeal. It's just tutorials, but it's online. I don't know. It's whatever. It's modern tutorials. I should probably not say that name.
Wait.
Tahesh Memorial.
Okay, coming back to the second last point I had about schools. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, man.
It's your job to introduce kids to these basic concepts which are very, very necessary, Abhi. Like, you can't live without at least knowing how things are done, coding wale world. At least you have to know
because you're gonna have to refer it at some point in your life. At this point, there's an app for everything. People are creating websites for everything. There's startups right and left. You just need to know at least the basics of coding.
And
like you need maths. It's as simple as that, man. Just you don't want. Even if you don't want to be a mathematician, they teach you maths. Even if you don't want to be a coder,
necessary.
You should know basics. Exactly.
And the thing is, knowing how to code gives you I don't know what that is. I don't know if everyone feels that, but you get this power that you can create anything in the world, like anything as a computer say related. You can create anything. Like after crossing that barrier, you can create anything you want just by sitting on a table.
It does. Absolutely.
That's so cool.
It's very cool.
It's like Lego, but you can create anything you want.
Yeah, Lego, but without like buying the actual pieces. Because like coding software is free. Learning is free.
How? Well, exactly, it's free.
It's the best.
Don't pay for
it's
it.
The best. Absolutely. So that
was
the
what
point.
I was thinking. That was the point. And okay, extending to that, my school, I don't want to take its name or whatever, but my school had a nice computer science program. Like that is what introduced me to the basics of coding and stuff pretty well. And I realized that not all schools had it. Which is sad, but मेरे school में भी not a lot of people gave attention to it, but at least basics build हो गया था सबका when they got out of school.
Yeah.
So it's the school ka job to do all this.
I did not even know there was a subject like coding and making softwares until I got out of school. So that just says a lot
that's
about
okay. I guess schools ko better hona padega and stuff. I don't want to get into it. It's just that schools should do a better job, and not just coding per se. There is another field that you should do a better job so that classes don't hunt down students. We all know what you're talking about, but
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
J.
Oh, sorry.
Beep that out.
Man. Yeah, the thing is, let's say competitive exams. It's called competitive exams. So yeah, I don't think that's the reason that people go for classes for competitive exams. It's the reason that these classes make you do stuff, right? Unless you're dedicating a certain amount of time every day, it's difficult to crack competitive exams. And people can definitely do it by themselves without going to a class, but that's a very small percentage. A lot of people need someone to push them and to do work, right? And log procrastinate karte vagara. So in that sense, I believe
there are a lot of factors, I guess.
Absolutely. So in that sense, I believe it's okay to pay someone money to make sure that your child is studying on time and studying the appropriate amount of time. I mean, it's a step in that direction because वैसे तो मैंने भी बहुत भरे but मैं पढ़ा ही नहीं फिर भी. So that's a different point altogether. But I think that reason to like go to classes is fair. It's alright. It's okay. But our problem is with White Hat Junior just spreading is just capitalizing on fears, right? We think it's wrong, and especially younger people ka.
The thing is, as a person, like we both can see through their bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And I pity them ki what went wrong ki you had to do this. So it's just sad, I guess. On both parties.
The thing is, the people who are our age, they know उनके ऊपर marketing tactics नहीं चलने वाले. चलेगा किस पे? Parents पे, जिनको who don't know better, who have never heard of Stack Overflow. ठीक है. And that's, I feel, another reason why Advait is kind of pissed with WhiteHatJr's because the entire coding community has grown because of sharing on the internet. Stack Overflow is literally the source of professionals use Stack Overflow to complete their codes, build programs. Instagram के जो coder ने definitely जाके Stack Overflow refer किया, मैं लिख के देता हूँ तुमको, ठीक है? So the entire coder community.
You bring any professional coder, अगर उसके Stack Overflow नहीं use किया रहेगा पूरा life में, I'll give my life away.
Yeah.
There is not one person on earth who hasn't used it.
That's why I'm telling you that coding is an art. You need people's help. You need to learn from other people. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि this is one rule, the second rule, follow it, you're successful. ऐसा नहीं होता है. It's a mix of soft and hard skills. What works for someone else may not work for you. That's why Stack Overflow exists. And it's a community that has grown not because of capitalist companies, but because of people who want to actually disperse this knowledge. Because coding ऐसा नया, it's a very new concept, dude. Especially in India, it's extremely new. So
it's new because the cycle of teaching doesn't get refreshed so often.
Absolutely. That's right. That's a great point. And that is where the school point comes in, that schools need to upskill quickly and build up infrastructure.
Okay. For people who still don't believe me that coding ka starting should be free, Stack Overflow is a website which is referred to by professionals and beginners. It has solutions to almost all the problems which are mature enough. They're direct solutions. You can just copy paste it. They're given by people. That is free.
Absolutely, dude. Like, the thing is,
so if you think your coding ka basics can't be free, you're wrong.
You're wrong, man. The thing is, learning any skill ka basics is free today on the internet. Any skill, literally any skill. Now, if you're looking for, the thing is, in today's age, people are not paying for education. They're not paying for information. They're paying for organized education. They're paying for organized information. There are hundreds of YouTubers online who can tell me the basics of say After Effects, right? But if there is another person on Skillshare who is making chapters and who is making lessons increasing in difficulty and complexity, and at the same, he's doing it in a very extremely systematic manner, right? That's the difference between YouTube and Skillshare. Information is way more systematic on Skillshare. Okay?
But
that's why people pay for it.
There are legit channels जो एकदम starting से start करते हैं. It's
yes. On YouTube
they are better than what the other other offerings, paid offerings. That's the thing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of YouTube channels who also organize their content.
See, I don't mind paying for. I paid for professional coding tutorials like Coursera and stuff. And they are organized, but because once you go above it, it gets hard to organize, and it's at that point ads say you can't pay for the work you're doing.
Yes.
But at the base level, it's so easy, and so many people have done it. Okay, there is no point.
It makes no sense to spend money to get started on any skill, not just coding. I think that's the point. I think that's the podcast. That's pretty good. I hope you liked it.
We just ranted on two companies. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, man. But both of these companies are associated with technology, so we had to do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't really mess with us.
So, if any of you go and start up a bad company, we're gonna rant about you. Do you know that? Yeah, I hope you know.
Yeah, exactly. Remember. And since we know you personally, we'll have you come on the podcast and rant to you. That would be fun.
Good one.
Like inviting someone.
We
like your company and just why this. It's gonna be so.
Oh my god. If you can subscribe and like and share this to your friends, we'll do that. We'll do that with the CEO of founder of Micromax. Okay. Okay. That's it for the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. If you have any topics that you would like us to talk about next week, please comment down below. Share this with your friends because YouTube has killed our reach. So has Instagram. So even if you're one person who's watching this, put this on your story. Just put it. Just screenshot
Share this with the auntie who's gonna buy Micromax.
Yes,
and the uncle who's gonna buy his kid WhiteHatJr's.
Bro, the best place to share this video is your family WhatsApp group. Literally. So go and share it in your family WhatsApp group. गाली वाली भी नहीं सब sort है. बोल दो उनको ये. And like, share, subscribe. My name is Atik Kurchi signing out.
My name is Advait signing off. Oh, cha.
We'll get back to you next week with another episode of the Unengineered Podcast. Until then, get unengineered, boys.
Bye-bye.